The Wyndham Championship hasn't even teed off, yet it has already become one of the biggest stories in golf. Just days before the first round, one player after another began disappearing from the field. Some of the sport's biggest names have suddenly withdrawn, completely changing the tournament and leaving fans wondering what is really happening behind the scenes. Is this simply players managing their schedules? Or is there a bigger reason why so many stars are choosing to skip the PGA Tour's final regular season event? Stay with us, because we're breaking down every major withdrawal, why it matters, and what it means for the FedEx Cup Playoffs. And if you love staying ahead of the biggest golf stories before everyone else, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. We cover breaking golf news, major controversies, and everything happening across the PGA Tour and LIV Golf. So you never miss an important update. To understand why these withdrawals are making headlines, you first have to understand the importance of the Wyndham Championship. This isn't just another stop on the PGA Tour calendar. It's the final event of the regular season. For dozens of players, it's their last opportunity to finish inside the FedEx Cup Top 70 and qualify for the playoffs. One good week can save an entire season. One bad week can end it. That's what makes every withdrawal so significant. Every time a star pulls out, the entire tournament changes. The competition shifts, alternates move into the field, and players fighting for playoff spots suddenly face a different challenge. This year, those withdrawals have come quickly, and they've involved some very recognizable names. One of the biggest surprises is Patrick Cantlay. Cantlay's decision to withdraw caught many fans off guard. A proven winner, and one of the PGA Tour's most consistent players, his presence always adds strength to any tournament field. Although no major controversy has surrounded his withdrawal, his absence immediately became one of the biggest talking points of tournament week. When a player of Cantlay's caliber decides not to compete in one of the most important events before the playoffs, people naturally begin asking questions. Then came another shock. Koepka also withdrew. Koepka's appearances in PGA Tour events have become much less common since joining LIV Golf, so whenever he is expected to play, fans pay attention. His decision to pull out removed another major champion from the tournament and added even more mystery to an already growing list of withdrawals. The list continued to grow. Former PGA Tour winner Daniel Berger also withdrew. Berger has spent the last several seasons working his way back after injuries threatened to derail his career. Many fans were looking forward to seeing whether he could build momentum heading into the playoffs. Instead, his name disappeared from the field. South African star Garrick Higgo also withdrew before tournament week officially began. Higgo has shown throughout his career that he can go extremely low when his game clicks. While he may not always receive the same attention as golf's biggest stars, losing another talented player only adds to the feeling that something unusual is happening this week. Another player joining the growing withdrawal list is Kristoffer Reitan. His absence may not grab as many headlines internationally, but every withdrawal opens another opportunity for an alternate, while changing the competitive balance of the tournament. With so many players leaving the field, fans naturally started comparing this week's tournament to the biggest names who aren't here. And that brings us to two players everyone is talking about, Scottie Scheffler and Rory McIlroy. The world's top-ranked players are also absent from the Wyndham Championship, but for a very different reason. Neither Scheffler nor McIlroy originally committed to play this event. Instead, both have chosen to prepare for the FedEx Cup Playoffs after another demanding season. For players at the very top of the FedEx Cup standings, there is little incentive to add another tournament before the playoffs begin. They've already secured their places, and managing energy, travel, and recovery becomes the priority. Still, whenever the two biggest stars in golf skip an event, fans notice. Without Scheffler and McIlroy, and with several additional withdrawals removing even more star power, the Wyndham Championship suddenly looks very different than many expected just a few weeks ago. But here's where things become really interesting. While several established stars are staying home, dozens of golfers arrive knowing their careers could change over the next 4 days. Players sitting outside the top 70 have nothing to lose. Expect aggressive play, expect risky decisions. Expect players firing at flags instead of playing safely. Because second place may not be enough. This is one of the rare weeks on the PGA Tour where survival matters just as much as winning. The pressure will be unlike almost any other regular season tournament. Before we continue, if you're enjoying this breakdown, take a second to hit like and subscribe. We're closing in on our next milestone, and your support helps us bring you more breaking golf news, player updates, and tournament analysis every single week. Now, let's get back to the story. So why are all these players withdrawing? The reality is that there isn't one single explanation. Professional golfers withdraw for many different reasons. Some are managing injuries, others are recovering from weeks of travel and competition. Some simply decide that preparing for the playoffs is more important than adding one more tournament to an already demanding schedule. Unless a player publicly gives a reason, it's impossible to know exactly why they chose not to compete. That makes it important not to jump to conclusions. However, what cannot be denied is the impact these withdrawals have had on the tournament. The field has changed dramatically. Alternates have received unexpected opportunities. Players on the playoff bubble suddenly have a clearer path, and fans are left wondering whether this week's champion will take advantage of a field missing several of its biggest names. Ironically, these withdrawals may actually make the Wyndham Championship even more exciting. Without overwhelming favorites dominating the headlines, the spotlight shifts to hungry players with everything on the line. Someone's season is about to be saved. Someone else's dream of reaching the FedEx Cup Playoffs is about to end. That's the beauty and the heartbreak of this tournament. Every birdie matters. Every bogey hurts. Every putt could determine whether a player extends their season or starts preparing for next year. As Thursday's opening round approaches, one thing is certain. The Wyndham Championship has already delivered one of the week's biggest stories before a single shot has been hit. The withdrawals of Patrick Cantlay, Koepka, Daniel Berger, Garrick Higgo, and Kristoffer Reitan have reshaped the field, while the scheduled absences of Scottie Scheffler and Rory McIlroy only highlight how different this year's event feels. Now the stage belongs to the players still standing. Who will seize the opportunity? Who will crack under the pressure? And who will punch their ticket to the FedEx Cup Playoffs? We'll find out soon enough. Until then, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think these withdrawals are simply smart scheduling decisions? Or do you believe there's another reason so many players are missing the Wyndham Championship? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest breaking stories from the world of golf. We'll see you in the next one.